Hello, everyone. Today I will be discussing my case study, Lululemon Stretching the Limits. So, on the agenda, we're going to start with an overview of the company profile. We're going to go into the situation analysis. We're going to talk about the CEO of Lululemon and his impact that he left on the company. We're going to talk about how the stakeholders and the brand responded before we go into financial and reputational impact. And lastly, we'll discuss the aftermath. Lululemon Athletica was established in 1998 in Vancouver, Canada. Founder Chip Wilson previously had two other companies which he sold for $1 million. This is when Wilson took an interest to yoga. He went to a yoga class and he realized that women in the class did not have many options for comfortable athletic wear that was still fashionable. This realization inspired him to create a business designing athletic wear for women. The Lululemon name developed from Wilson's observation during his experiences with Japanese customers who were intrigued with brand names that incorporated the letter L. He played around with variations of alliterations and company names using the letter L until he finally decided on Lululemon. The brand name is spelled in all lowercase letters to give the brand a more relaxed feel. Lululemon began as a design studio during the day for the clothes and a yoga studio by night. This location ultimately became the first Lululemon storefront in Canada. The company is known for being among the first to appreciate and capitalize on yoga, fitness, and athletic wear. The first product was a pair of black stretchy tights made to accommodate women the flexibility needed to participate in yoga. The material of the pants was made from a technical fabric that was durable and squat-proof. These pants were the catalyst for the brand's success. The pants became a popular choice for not only the yoga community, but also runners and other athletes. This set the tone for the brand to expand their product line to athletic apparel and accessories for both men and women beyond the yoga realm. Currently, the Lululemon leadership team includes 10 executive leadership members. The current chief executive officer, CEO, is Calvin McDonald. Prior to becoming the CEO for Lululemon in August of 2018, he served as the president and CEO of Sephora Americas, a division of the LVMH, which is Monet, Hennessy, Louis Vuitton, a multinational company for luxurious brands. He has also been the CEO of Sears Canada and Loblaw Companies Limited, which is the largest retailer in Canada. And he is currently on the board of directors for Walt Disney and obviously obviously Lululemon. And this explains the new Disney partnership right now that's happening with Lululemon. Geographically, the bulk of Lululemon's revenue comes from the United States and the Canadian storefronts, but more so the United States realm. The target audience for the brand are both women in their mid-teens to 30s who are passionate about fitness. These individuals value a healthy lifestyle, work balance, and are generally affluent. Lululemon caters to their audience by offering specialized products for various fitness activities like running, yoga, and high-intensity training. Women who are Gen Xers with disposable income are the first target audience for the brand, and the psychographics of this group include women who are driven and ambitious. These women prioritize self improvement. These women also are the type to enjoy a 6 a.m. yoga class and $90 leggings. When the brand expanded to carrying men's athleisure, the men who wore Lululemon were around 35 years old. They made on average 100K and enjoyed hobbies such as snowboarding and surfing. The industry faces many external influences such as inflation, customer spending trends, and global economic stability. And internally, Lululemon utilizes its capabilities and resources such as patents on certain fabrics and trademarks on their fabrics, as well as lifestyle marketing to a community and to sustain brand loyalty. The athleisure apparel industry has huge competitors like Nike, Alo Yoga, Adidas, and Athleta. The brand regularly collaborates with yoga, wellness, and fitness enthusiasts. The brand understands that their consumers value the opinion of their favorite content creators. Social media being a significance in their marketing plans, generated content is also beneficial and can be seen as more trustworthy to their consumers. The second key part to their marketing strategy is that the brand's vision of community. In addition to creating wellness-focused brand, they wanted to create a community where people can come together to discuss and learn about physical health and mindfulness. Now we're going to delve into the situation analysis. So, the former CEO is known not only for founding the company, but also sparking controversy with insensitive comments. Wilson has made many unfavorable remarks in this case study, and we will discuss the four main comments that have disappointed customers over the years. So, the first is the letter L. In 2005, the Lululemon former CEO, Chip Wilson, stated, after his observations of Japanese people pronouncing L names with the English letter L in it, quote, L is not in their vocabulary. The reason the Japanese liked my former skateboard brand, Homeless, was because it had an L in it. And Japanese marketing firm wouldn't come up with the brand name with an L in it because it's not in their vocabulary. It's a tough pronunciation for them. So I thought next time I have a company, I'll make a name with three L's and see if I get three times the money. It's kind of exotic for them. I was playing with L's and I came up with Lululemon. It's funny to watch them try to say it, Wilson quoted. Wilson was quoted saying what I just said. It's worth noting that the brand name Lululemon does not have any correlation or meaning in the Japanese language. Next, in 2013, was a sheer scandal. So in March of 2013, Lululemon customers complained about the Luon line from Lululemon black tights being sheer. This was an unintentional flaw in the product. Because of this brand, because of this, the brand had to recall pants that made up 17% of the bottoms sold by the brand. The Lululemon CEO stated that women were buying clothes that were too small for them. In the article, Chip Wilson also states that the company, he also stated that women's bodies may be to blame for the problem with the luxurious workout attire. Quote, they don't work for some women's bodies. It's really about the rubbing through the tights, how much pressure there is over a period of time, and how much they use it. Frankly, some women's bodies just don't actually work for the yoga pants. End quote. The reaction on social media was intense, forcing Wilson to make an apology that only made things worse. And this is the main thing that resulted in him stepping down from the company. In 2022, the Business of Fashion company, who's globally known for comprehensive analysis of global fashion trends, consumer behavior, and retail performance. So they did a investigation and they interviewed 14 current and former Lululemon employees, from sales associates, ambassadors, and corporate employees from both Canada and USA, who all reported that Lululemon has a corporate culture that is unwelcoming to Black people. Minorities employees reported being looked over for promotions, criticized, or even terminated. One of the employees quoted, this company started out being prejudiced. They basically said, we only want tall, blonde, white women, and you have to be a size 6, end quote, said Armstrong, the former employee at a Lululemon store. A lot of the things that they have had in place and even the language that they use still support the foundation of what the company is. In 2020, Lululemon started a new diversity and inclusion program in response to the underlying racism issues, which we'll get into a little bit later. But in response to this, a lot of the employees felt like it was just kind of like a cover up or a facade, just so the company could appear to be better than what they actually were in these employees' eyes. And lastly, this past January 2024, Wilson interviewed in Forbes magazine, disapproving of the brand's new diversity and inclusion efforts. In his interview, he stated he had a disfavor for the brand's quote whole diversity and inclusion thing. He also complained about Lululemon ads because they featured people who were unhealthy or sickly and not inspirational. He goes on to add, they're trying to become like Gap, everything to everybody. And I think the definition of a brand is that you're not going to be everything to everybody. You've got to be clear that you don't want certain consumers coming in. Those were the main controversial statements that were made all by their former CEO, Chip Wilson. So Chip Wilson, before his departure from Lululemon, he put out this statement. I'm sad for the people at Lululemon that have really had to face the brunt of my actions. I take responsibility for all that has occurred and the impact it has on you. I'm sorry to put you all through this. And in this apology, he was stating this to the Lululemon workers. He said, in this statement that he's apologizing to the workers. He's not apologizing to the people that he may have offended. And people were upset that Wilson did not directly apologize to those who were affected by his specific comments. He only apologized for leaving a firestorm for his coworkers to clean up after years of his questionable remarks. And this will be the only time Chip Wilson issued any sort of apology. Over the years, Chip Wilson and his brand have received harsh backlash from customers. Currently on social media, there are debates on if Black people should be supporting the brand after his comments on not wanting certain customers. Some customers continue to boycott the brand in response to his comments over the years. Customer Ben Chan encourages shoppers to boycott the brand. He says, I quote, whenever I hear Lululemon, I am reminded of the anti-Asian racism I've experienced. I'm brought back to my first day in first grade when my classmates pulled up the corner of their eyes to make slits and called me chink and chang, wrong and wong. The boys who taunted me with those slurs did it for the same reasons Chip Wilson named his brand anti-Asian slurs, because they thought it was funny. My school classmates and later young men who scrawled chink sucks, F you, and defecated on my college dorm door learned it was okay to treat Asian Americans the same way from people like Chip Wilson's behavior. In 2025, graduating senior from Duke University, Felix Jones explains, I know no other brand whose name was crafted as an explicit, racially toned joke at the expense of an entire ethnic group. In the nearly 2 decades since its information became public, Lululemon has not changed its name, a name that is most integral part of the brand's identity, and I am deeply uncomfortable with those who identify with the Lululemon brand. And then his comments on women's body, women of all shapes and sizes have expressed their concern about the brand not being inclusive to all women. Author Maura Einstein explains her experience with the brand. I've been a loyal customer for years, but this is the last straw. When a company tells me that my body is not good enough for their product, I can't continue to support them. The media coverage of each of Wilson's controversial statements go in depth and amplify the rage felt by those offended by his brand. In the response to his apology, while this was his most direct public acknowledgement of all his controversy, many felt that the apology lacked sincerity, given the numerous occasions of Wilson's words deeply affecting not only his customers, but women and minorities across the world. Consumers expected a respectful, thought out apology. And for employees, there's not a lot out there on information from how employees felt during this time. This is a timeline of just all of the CEOs. So once he stepped down in 2005, he was a chairman. And then in 2013, Christine Day had to step down because of the tights scandal, because they were too sheer. And then once they got a new CEO, that CEO had an improper relationship with a colleague, so they had to step down, leading to our current CEO of Lululemon, Calvin McDonald. In January of 2024, Lululemon announced that they have no relationship with Chip Wilson, and neither does the brand. And they are a very different company today, and they don't want Chip Wilson's ideology to continue to affect the brand. And in response to all of this, they created IDEA, which stands for Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Action. IDEA is committed to fostering an inclusive culture within the company by celebrating diversity, making equity a priority, and actively taking steps to promote equal opportunities for all employees. This inclusion initiative illustrates the shift of focus from the brand for the brand. Lululemon's current CEO explains, at Lululemon, we are in the midst of a journey to drive meaningful, lasting change in the world, and we promote well-being across our communities as a part of our impact agenda. We are accelerating programs to become more inclusive and a more diverse company. The brand went under many other DEI initiatives to improve brand morale. The company is dedicated to righting the wrongs of the past CEO by holding themselves accountable. Believe it or not, there was not a whole lot of financial impact for the brand. Now, during each of these controversies, sales might have had like a small spark down or maybe a little dip, but nothing that was so dramatic. However, the reputational impact lasts on today from his statements made almost 20 years ago. While many still boycott, popularity amongst Gen Z has sparked. Their matching sets are their most best-selling item. Nonetheless, the conversation surrounding Wilson's commentary over the years continues to tarnish the brand's reputation. Lululemon has managed to combat this by being more inclusive with models, sizing, and branding, along with their IDEA initiative. Although the brand has faced many challenges due to their leadership, they've been able to preserve and become a global leader in athletic wear in the years following the backlash. Their diversification efforts have been met by an overwhelming number of positive reactions, while Wilson's comments did impact their brand. Lululemon is focused on product innovation to ensure high-quality activewear to regain the trust of their consumers. Financially, the brand has had consistently increasing sales and a strong presence in the global athleisure market. Through these efforts, Lululemon transformed the challenges into opportunities for long-term success. And these are my sources. Thank you all so much.